In Scotch, we every day or maybe every few days we see something new, especially when I play some blitz games on the internet or I analyze, I come up with something new. Now, we couldn't possibly cover everything on the previous DVDs, but we covered most of the main continuations. What we want to see now, what will happen if black tries something new. And I mentioned many times there are many different continuations for black. We can't possibly cover not in 2-hour DVD on 10-hour DVDs. But I want to bring you some examples and that you can see how we deal with various unexpected continuations. And in this case, unexpected continuations being played by fairly strong players. They tried to derail white from main continuations and try to get good positions by doing it. Well, let's see what happened here. Bishop c4, knight f6, e5, d5, bishop b5. Of course, we very well know that the main move here is knight e4, and there is no secret about it. But I mentioned also that on knight d7, we should castle. And that's what happened in one of the games. White castled, black went bishop e7, we went rook e1, black castled, white went knight d2, and all of a sudden black here played knight to c5. Now, how we deal with it? We play bishop takes c6, pawn takes c6, and knight takes d4. That's exactly what happened in that game. Black has c6 pawn hanging. Black chose here queen d7. It's not such a bad move because black doesn't want to put bishop on d7 because it's very passive. So they want to put queen on d7 and possibly put bishop on b7, and after removing knight, go c5, getting active position. On queen d7, so here, that's where the theory ends. And we have to think about it. We know our main plan is either blockade the d4 and c5 dark squares or try to get an attack on black's king. Well, on the other hand, white has to complete development of their pieces. Knight f3 or knight b3 would be natural moves, but what I did is I played queen h5 first. And this is a good move because after queen h5, we want to play knight f3. Notice that if we played knight f3 right away, black could have gone knight e4 followed by c5. Or we want to play queen h5 because after knight f3 our queen is out. And in some cases we can get attack on black's king. So queen h5 was played and black played knight e6. Now their natural desire, of course, to play c5 and activate after c5 bishop on b7. Well, I could have played, and probably wasn't that bad of an idea, to go knight f5, but then knight f4 black has, and we have to take on e7, queen takes e7, and it's not very clear if white has an advantage. So what happened in the game, after knight e6, I simply played knight f3. What we want to do, we just continue normal development. Notice that black's piece is still congested. Black played knight takes d4, and after knight takes d4 they played c5. That's what they intended. They want, after knight f3, or if knight goes anywhere, obviously knight cannot go to f5 because black simply is going to take it. After knight f3, black can go d4, followed by bishop b7, having good position. But then, in those positions, very frequently, the activity that we have enables tactical possibilities. And I went e6. Amazingly, game ended in 2 moves. Pawn takes e6, knight takes e6, and black played natural rook f6. Well, this is already very bad position for black. They played rook f6. We don't want to analyze this game in details, but I'm going to tell you only that after knight takes c7, here black simply resigned because they just lost 1 pawn. The rook on a8 is hanging. Queen takes c7 is bad because queen takes d5 check, and white is going to take next move black's rook. So if black does not take the knight, then they have to move the rook, and then we can play knight takes d5, attacking rook and winning second pawn, and black is totally lost. It's a simple tactical shot, it's not that difficult. But you see, there are many different possibilities black can do, but white, the reason white has in this position the e6 move, because they have very well placed pieces, very active, and when you have actively placed pieces, it's no surprise that you're going to have some tactical shots. In this case was e6. By the way, black couldn't go queen d6 because of knight f5, so black is already experiencing serious problems here. So you have to know that no matter what happens, you have good continuation if you follow the right principles. So your piece, there is no reason why you shouldn't have good continuations, because your piece is developed properly, you haven't made any mistakes, and if black tries to do something that is not on the list of main and best continuations, you have every right to look for punishment. And that's exactly what happened in this game. I want to bring to your attention another game that was also black tried something new. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, e takes d, bishop c4, knight f6, e5, d5, bishop b5, knight e4, knight takes d4, bishop d7, and here bishop takes c6. We play according to the theory and to the material that I presented of previous DVDs. I want to explain here one thing. We are not going to analyze now entire opening, because we don't want to do something we already done. I want to refill with new ideas, new continuations your opponent may come up with, and how you deal with it. So after bishop takes c6, b takes c, white castled, And here, my opponent all of a sudden, without me kicking this knight, went knight c5 voluntarily. Then, obviously, what we have to do, we have to go f4 and knight c3. I want knight c3 first. I could have gone f4, was just as good. I want knight c3 first, bishop e7, f4, castles. But I did mention on the DVD that this is not on previous DVD, on the main opening review of the main tape of where I reviewed this opening, that after f5, white has very strong attack. Now, let's see if white does have a strong attack. After f5, now what should black do here? Black plays bishop g5. So, and we have to go here, queen g4. We go in queen g4. Now black has to go bishop g5 because f6 is a very serious threat. On bishop g5, we go queen g4. Black plays bishop takes c1, rook takes c1. Now you see that white's position looks very, very threatening. Black's position is very dangerous. Now f6 is not a threat because queen is hanging, so potentially f6 is threat, but we have to prepare. Black made a bad blunder playing queen e7 and lost quickly, but even if black did the best, which is probably f6, after e6, I think black's position is totally lost. But after queen e7 is absolute disaster. What we cannot go f6, as I already mentioned. Knight takes c6, and black cannot take, obviously, the knight, because after f6, black loses queen, because queen takes g7 threat, and there is no defense. After knight takes c6, black went queen e8. Now knight takes d5. Now the threat is knight f6 check. And here black played king h8, and then knight c2 e7. White's position is absolutely winning, but what white wants to do now, simply to checkmate black, and not to play for just for extra 2 pawns, but simply to play because to checkmate black, because all black's pieces are on back rank and the king is very, very vulnerable. c6, and now it's queen h4 with absolutely deadly threats. Black took the knight since there is no more choice, and f6. White has a threat, f takes g, king takes g7, and queen f6, checkmate. Black cannot go g6 because of queen h6, and the position is absolutely not defendable. Black went knight e6, and then rook f3. Here black resigned because white is threatening simply queen takes h7 check, king takes h7, rook h3 checkmate, and there is no good defense because on h6 we can go rook h3 with the threat queen takes h6, or we can go f takes g, king takes, and simply queen f6 followed by rook h3. There are multiple ways white can checkmate black king. So this in this position, black simply resigned. I'm just showing you the simple, a couple of samples actually of the position. Or you can say sometimes inexperienced player may think, well, there is something black played that is not covered on the DVD. We can't cover everything, but I'm gonna try to get you as close as possible to fully understanding this opening.